Hello, Reliving the Extreme listeners. Do you enjoy this podcast? Well, obviously you do because you're listening. If you enjoy this podcast and you shop on Amazon, why not wrap that all into one and give our podcast a little bit of support? All you have to do is when you want to shop on Amazon, instead of going to Amazon.com, go to www.tinyurl.com/extreme Amazon. By going there to do your Amazon shopping, you don't spend anything extra, and what it does is it throws a little commission our way here just to support the podcast. So, like I said, if you like to shop on Amazon and you are a fan of this podcast and want to throw us some support, we appreciate it. That is www.tinyurl.com/extreme Amazon. Now, let's relive the extreme. This week on Reliving the Extreme, we are discussing the episode of ECW TV from February the 1st, 1994, headed toward the night the line was crossed on February 5th, 94. So I guess you'd call this the go-home show.
It's the night the line was presented.
Yes.
Where it was unveiled.
The night the line was presented.
Drawn. Yes. Constructed.
Of course, as always, I am Nate Maxon, and there you hear my brother Aaron and Mr. Chad Austin from ECW. How's it going, guys?
Pretty good.
Welcome to Recap Championship Wrestling. It's not for everyone. Again.
It might not be for anyone. Yeah. Well, let's see here. Before we start, I do want to say, tired of the heat. I am not a heat nor summer guy. I don't know. I hate heat. I hate summer. I'm not big on it. It's like 95 degrees every day here right now. So, for those of you that are in my boat,
you're like half the AW roster.
Don't like heat.
Don't get any heat.
Yeah. No, they don't get the heat.
After this week, it's WWE Dynamite anyway. But
no, they don't get any heat.
There's no heat.
But the AEW people, they should be able to get the heat because there is people there. They're not watching them on Walmart floor models with random employees on them that are being told to cheer. There's actually people there.
They're gonna get the opposite of heat. All right. December, I keep saying different months. I'm obviously imagining that we're somewhere else. February 1st, 1994, we start the ECW show with a recap, as Chad alluded to from last week with our super duper angle with Paul Diamond. And then the WWE Network had some weird new music to start this show.
Anybody else?
I was like,
this music is shit.
I knew that Elias record wasn't that big of a hit, but I didn't think that it was being released to the WWE because I was just like, it sounds like Elias.
It sounded to me like some of those generic themes they would give the quote unquote superstar jobbers in the WWF back in like '96. You know, this is going to be
bad music. It didn't flow. It didn't even keep up with the cadence of the video or anything like that.
No,
it was
you're
just
right.
fucking.
It didn't
was
match
bad.
up with anything. It was terrible. It was poor. It was just. But is this the first time they've done this? I mean, the first week they changed that music.
Yeah, yeah. They usually use that standard, with the drum beat at the beginning and etc.
Well, that's what I thought. But I didn't know if maybe they did it last week and we beat it up and we just forgot about it.
No, they this.
I would have remembered that.
Oh, okay, it was that bad.
I was probably like, well, I'm gonna skip the intro because this is rough.
It's like, is this an accident?
He said that was rough.
The opening match on this week's show, after we see Joey in the Eagle's Nest, is the Tasmaniac and Kevin Sullivan against Mikey Whipwreck and Keith Shearer in a pretty much a jabroni jobber squash match here.
I mean, all you could clearly write with the ink that you have in your pen is poor Mikey.
Yeah, Mikey gets fucked up in this thing.
Poor Mike. I don't know what. I don't have a problem with Mikey. I never did. but I've heard before. I think we've squashed it. I've worked him since I heard that we had like some sort of an issue, which I don't remember. That he had heat with me, or he just didn't like. But I thought we squashed it. But I was just like, man, this guy, he just got his ass whooped.
Yes, he takes 2 sick chair shots in this thing,
and a fucking sick suplex.
Taz drops right on his head
from the top rope. That belly to belly over the top off the top rope.
Yeah.
Dude, he bounced, and then he just laid there and looked like they could have just drawn chalk around him.
Yes.
Fuck. And that's when I was just like, poor Mikey, dude. You know, and Keith Shearer, all he did was what? He got Kevin Sullivan or something?
Yeah.
Kevin Sullivan just took him outside and ran him into shit.
Yeah, he just laid on the outside pretty much while Mikey was taking all the bumps and the sick bumps, I might add. You said that about the suplex. I was actually looking down, writing a note when the suplex happened, and then I noticed the body too, like he's just laying. And I was like, I rewound it because I was like, is he just selling really well, or did he just get fucked up? And
yeah, look at how far he was away from Taz.
Yeah,
because he had bounced from taking the bump. He had bounced another 2 or 3 feet.
It's like, well, you didn't have to sell that very hard, did you, Mikey? Aaron, any comments here?
Kevin Sullivan did a power bomb, which how effective is that going to be?
Right,
already a
like
fall. Kevin
Sullivan give him do a power bomb.
Yeah, it's like getting choke slammed by Dink.
Pile driver from Little Beaver.
Choke slammed by Dink.
I was just going to say, I think this match, I mean, it was, all joking aside, it did do a good job at showing like how insane this match on the 5th is probably going to be with Taz and Kevin versus Pat Tanaka and the Sheik.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's one word to describe how the match is going to be.
One of those things is not like the other. We'll let you put it out. But, I mean, it's Pat Tanaka. But anyway, it was what it was, and it effectively showed how crazy Taz and Sabu is, or Taz and Kevin Sullivan are. And then afterwards, they did that stupid, weird eye covering thing that they do after every match.
Yeah, I still don't quite understand that thing. Like, I guess
nowhere, did it?
No, and I guess I understand Woman and Sullivan because, you know, they would do stuff like that. That was kind of Sullivan's deal, but I don't understand Taz.
Like mocking it.
Yeah, like copying it or whatever he's doing.
I get that because that's Taz. Like, Sullivan's Taz's master because Taz is like the pet, like the dog. I mean, do you get that? Like, he's the guy that tells him what to do. And then, you know, when you have a dog that kind of does stuff that mimics you and stuff, you know what I mean? I mean, I guess you don't get it, but you know what I mean?
Well, now that you've explained it, I mean, yeah. I mean, I can see what you're saying.
That's a sad explanation. Then if I got to explain it.
I just find it very odd, and again, like you said, it doesn't last anyway. I don't even know if Sullivan's around much longer after this, because I know the tag titles are. Well, we'll get to that later. But after this matchup, Joey introduces us to a match between Shane Douglas and Tommy Dreamer. This was not the same match we saw a few weeks back, was it? I don't believe. I mean, it seemed like a lot of it was the same, but it was. I don't think. Okay. I mean, it seemed reminiscent, like they were doing the same shit, but it didn't seem like the same exact match.
I don't know. I wrote another recap of Dreamer and Shane, so I mean, call me. I don't know. It had the same fucking finish.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times they did that at Cabrini College. They had to get that right for TV.
The match essentially. I mean, I think they do get a boring chant out of the crowd.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And I was like, "Ooh, shit,
dude! It's for after they started showing it, and I realized, hey, look, they're committing to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're going to show this fucking match whether we like it or not. And then my note was that it's starting to look like it's going to go long.
Yeah, a lot of rest holds, a lot of just hold on the arm.
That spot was tremendous. When Shane went up to the top rope to jump off on Dreamer, and Dreamer put his foot up, and it looked like Shane had no idea what he was going to do anyway.
Right.
He just jumped off the top rope and landed on his feet, and his face hit Dreamer's boot, and he sells it, and the crowd just goes, oh.
Oh.
And I said the crowd shit on the top rope foot spot. I said it looks silly, and Joey couldn't even fucking do shit about it because that's how bad it looked. And he had been touting how Shane Douglas is the franchise, and Shane was saying not only of ECW, of wrestling. Well, that spot was fucking awful.
Yes. The best thing about this match was Sherry. I mean, let's be honest.
Spot.
Yeah, that Sherry spot was awesome.
Or she ran through the ring?
Yeah, she ran through the ring and then under Shane's legs, or between Shane's legs, and Tommy chased her, and then Shane dropped the elbow on him. I like that spot.
How great is Sherry?
Absolutely. Fantastic. The finish of this, Shane with the chain, and then the referee being, suspicious of Douglas with the chain, the crowd trying to put the kibosh on Shane about the spot. But very basic here, nothing to write home about.
Well, Dreamer's stupid, because didn't Joey Styles say that was the third time that he's gotten screwed over by Shane Douglas with the chain spot? I mean, that just shows you how dumb Tommy Dreamer is. You would think that if I'm wrestling this guy, how about I have it?
Yeah. For finishes, I was gonna say for gimmick and character and psychology standpoint, he's as dumb as Sting at this point.
Yeah, but he's not no pretty boy.
Nope.
He's hardcore. I mean, that's what we're led to believe.
Gonna ditch those suspenders.
I just think they should have done an enhancement match with Shane instead of just having we're going to show you how good Shane Douglas is. So let's show you this 10-minute thing. It's like, why not just go out there and have him beat somebody quick with a belly to belly and be like, look how impressive you are. Yeah, and you could have done, and they could have done that with like Terry Funk too. Like there should have been a couple things. Like there was no mention of Terry Funk really. I mean, there was no recapping of Sabu, any of that stuff. But we get a 10-minute Shane Douglas Tommy Dreamer match. Why not have Tommy, or why not have Shane in a 4-minute squash, Sabu in a 3-minute thing, and Terry Funk like a Terry Funk highlight video?
They could have had me against Shane. That way I could have been like a trifecta on the show.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? Because it seems like I wrestled Shane like 2 or 3 more times afterwards. That could have been the first one when I was a rookie.
To Aaron's credit, there to kind of feed off of what you're saying, I agree, because you could have had Shane Douglas do a squash, and I'm not dissing Shane as a wrestler, but he was a decent wrestler. But Shane's strength, let's be honest, was always promos. So you could have had a squash match and a really good promo, as opposed to a long, boring Tommy Dreamer match with the same finish as a couple of weeks ago.
I actually thought that Shane also had better house show matches than he had pay-per-view matches. Like I've seen some of his I have some of the fan cams and stuff like that, and it seems like some of them matches it seems like are better because I think it almost looks like he puts a higher expectation on himself for like the pay-per-view matches, but he can just go out there and be himself on them spot show matches. And I was like, dude, I really like Shane on some of these, ECW fan cam shows because he just seems like he's more comfortable out there, and he's not being forced. When you have a time restraint like TV or pay per view.
And I mean, I guess to that he is a guy that because he was kind of a young prodigy when he first got started, he is a guy that really kind of got rushed to TV quick in his career when you think about it.
Well, Mid-South?
Yeah, I mean, so maybe just I guess I don't know. I'm trying to formulate my thought, but maybe because of that, he was more of a TV wrestler. So when the cameras were on, it was just instinct. You know what I mean? To be more structured, I guess. Unless
so, where was he on first at? Was he in Mid-South or Continental?
What I think it was Continental.
Mid-South. I think 87?
87. So maybe it was Continental after. I'd have to go back and look now.
Yeah, because
I can't remember.
Because I think that he was in Continental because I think that Paul and Eddie brought him in. When I think because that was definitely after Mid-South when Gilbert and Paul were booking Continental. And wasn't he Troy Martin or was he Shane Douglas in Continental?
No, I think he was Shane Douglas in Continental, and he wasn't in the UWF when WCW bought. He was gone by then? or was he there?
No, I think he had just came in because he was one of the guys that beat Mike Boyette during that infamous losing streak. Anybody who beats up my hero, my guy, Mike Boyette, I have heat with, so I keep tabs on him. But yeah, he was in Watts then, because he was definitely a guy that beat Boyette. So that would have been 87, but it would have been closer to the fall of 87.
Yes.
Right before the sale.
Because the sale took place in, was it September? Because then by Starrcade they had completely just shit all over it, and they.
Oh, it didn't even last longer than that.
No, because Starrcade's when they had all the the unification matches and stuff, and all the UWF guys lost, I think, except Steve Williams, and yeah.
Yeah, I know. I was completely throwing my hands in the air, just going like, at that point I was already smart. I was already smart enough because I would have been 15 by then. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't smart to the no, but I could see the writing on the wall.
Right.
And I just knew, I was like, well, yeah, these guys are just going to come in here and eat up these guys. That's how it's going to end up. But yeah, I wasn't a big fan of how that ended.
Nope. I think they did the same thing with that the WWF wound up doing when they got WCW. They ruined the whole thing by trying to look superior.
But then what did Shane do after that? He didn't. After Continental, what did he do before he showed up with Ricky Steamboat? What was that, 92?
He went to WWF.
Yeah, he was in WWF in 89.
What did he do, jobs?
No, 90. He was in WWF in 90.
The job guy?
He wasn't really a job guy. He was like the dude that was on Superstars that beat the job guy, but he didn't do anything else really. He never had like an angle or anything.
He's the guy that would beat Dwayne Gill on Superstars, but then lose to the Warlord on Primetime. That was, you know what I mean? That was his level of whatever in the WWF.
I can't believe that he lasted that long. I can't
which Rumble is he?
Believe that he lasted from he beats Gilbert
he's in the
one day, and then
he's in the 90
Warlord.
He's in the
91.
He's in the 91 Rumble. Yeah,
as Shane Douglas.
Yep, with he's like the baby face. He's got like orange tights. I remember him. He mostly wore
the haircut. It's
ridiculous. I'm sure it was fantastic.
Between Continental and that WWF run, I really don't have track on him. I don't know what obviously he was wrestling somewhere because, but.
Well, he was a tremendous talent, Continental. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a perfect spot for a good-looking white meat baby face like Shane. Shit,
Right.
You're working against, I don't know, just throw a guy out there like a Joe LaDuke or something, and this guy's going to rough you up every night. These fucking broads are going to love you.
Yeah.
At the Waffle House at 3 o'clock in the morning. Fucking eat that shit up.
After this matchup, we see Joey Styles on the phone with Shane Douglas. And Shane Douglas, of course, cuts a promo on Terry Funk and Sabu for the show coming up on the 5th, and then we get a Shane Douglas video.
He had to call the universal number to record his
what is it, Chad? You know the number you got to dial for everything.
The 944 is like 3290 number.
Yeah, Shane had to call that. Hit option 1 for voicemail.
He ordered 3 T-shirts, an Ultra Clash. And he wanted that. He's still waiting for the updated news before he can leave a message for his favorite wrestler.
And he did pledge a $2 to $5 donation to the Variety Club as well when he was on.
Oh, he did say that?
Yeah.
Sandman appreciate
so basically, calling the ECW hotline was way before the Cameo, because the hotline was definitely just an answer machine, so they could take all the messages and just put them on the internet. This is way before a Cameo. Look at Shane Douglas. He just donated to the Variety Club.
What a franchise. We see a video of Shane Douglas here, just highlight video. Don't know what.
That was great, too, by the way.
And then our man here, Mr. Chad Austin, makes an appearance next on the show in a match against Johnny Hotbody.
All right. Explain to me this. I didn't know that my match was coming on, so I had literally just walked out of the room to take a bathroom break.
Hmm.
So I was walking down the steps, and Jess was in the kitchen, and I hear Chad Austin, and I was like, wait a minute, what am I doing? and I ran into the room. So how was I introduced? Were we already in the ring? What set this up?
You were joined in progress with you and Johnny Hotbody. No intros, no anything like that. Of course, Joey Styles putting you over as usual. I keep saying that you must have been slipping Joey 20s or something because he puts you over. He puts you over strong every show, Chad. I'm telling you. Joey Styles was your cheerleader.
And I'm telling you, I'm not even sure I met him yet. I still don't think I don't think I met him until we did that whatever that Pigeon Valley show was, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Pigeon Forge.
But whatever it was, yeah. I don't even think I even met him until then because he was never at the arena.
Right.
And if he was at the arena when I was there, and if I wasn't asked to be there, I never stayed there. Nobody ever did because they knew you would be there till 3-4 in the morning.
Right.
So, but then Paul would ask me a couple times to start staying there. Joey'd be there on them nights. And they would generally be, and if you look at the lineups of a lot of the shows, you can see what Paul's considering to be in the bigger shows. Mm-hmm. The night the line was crossed was a bigger show because he's bringing in the Sheik. I mean, let's be honest, he's bringing in Pat Tanaka, and he's got Sabu.
Apparently, he just can't afford Paul Diamond.
Well, Paul Diamond's still injured, isn't he?
Yeah, that's what they're telling us.
He's injured from that last bounce check off his foot. I don't know. But you understand what I mean, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, Matty in the House shows up on commentary here.
Oh, my God.
And Aaron, I want your analysis here of this matchup. And I mean, I have a few notes, and then I had a question or two for Chad. But
well, I don't have a lot except for fucking Matty is just atrocious during this entire thing. He's just being Matty. I mean, he is what he is. He's just terrible. And the one thing I did note from the match was there was a very awkward corner bump suplex spot that you and Johnny Hotbody had.
Where he belly to bellied me or belly to back me or something?
Yeah.
Because believe me, I wasn't going to say, what did I do to him? Because that didn't happen. So it was, he gave me a belly to belly out of the corner.
Yeah. And it was really awkward, and Joey tries to save it and say that you tried to counter it or something, but I don't know.
Yeah, all right. I would have to go back and watch that because I would like to see whose fault that was.
That's what I was going to ask, and I didn't know if you had noticed. And I was like, I don't know if Johnny messed it up or you messed it up or whatever, but it looked like honestly like he was about to drop you on your head, and you were like, "Fuck it." And
okay, so maybe it wasn't. I was going to tell you. When I go back and watch it, if it was my fault, I'll gladly tell you it was my fault because I was green. But if I felt that he was gonna drop me on my fucking head, then no, I did whatever I could to get out of that position.
And that's what it looked like to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say at that point you're not gonna risk paralysis for this little show in Philadelphia to make the spot. To make the spot look good. Yeah, that's
Nate,
what I'm saying.
You said I'm not gonna waste paralysis for this little show in Philadelphia, but you think that's a bigger thing than I'm not gonna waste my paralysis on Johnny Hotbody?
Yeah. Checkmate, sir. Checkmate.
Yeah. How can I put that on my resume? How is Hannibal ever going to book me for his fucking internet podcast?
Hey, hey, let me ask you about the time that
about Hotbody,
Johnny Hotbody. Almost
Internet Wrestling Database says.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I mean, I have to go back and watch it, but I have no problem. I would have no problem if it came out that it was me that fucked that up. Because, I'd only been in the business 2 years. Or actually, probably not even 2 years.
You get a backslide here at one point, and then we go to Johnny Hotbody winds up on the outside. And here, there's two things I wanted to ask. First, okay, so this segment ends abruptly. Chad jumps off the top rope onto the floor, onto Johnny Hotbody.
Chad knew.
Yes. And then there's nothing. So my question is, did they just cut it off, or was that your finish? Like, did you guys do anything after that and they just cut it off, or was that how you ended it for real?
Like, this is where I said if you needed time. Yeah, we had like dude, I first off, I wanted to say that I physically looked terrible. Like when he was slapping me around in the corner and shit like that, and I saw my actual physique, and I realized, dude, I am not like look like I'm in professional wrestling shape. You know, I mean, and that's fair to say, because I just after watching it now, I'm just like, dude, I look terrible, and this dude's beating the shit out of me. And then when it was time for me to do a spot, he was like, "What do you want to do?" And I was like, "Well, I do this dive, or I dive outside, or I just dive on the guy." And I've never done it before. It's not like I practiced it on a bunch of people. Who the fuck practice? Hey, I need a bunch of people. Hey, hang on a sec, guys. While we finish the show, I'm gonna get a bunch of people. I'm gonna jump off the roof on them. You know, where do you find these people at? And I told him what I did, but the ECW ring, I swear to God, it's got to be 4 feet higher than any other ring I've ever been in. Like the apron, from the floor to the apron, top of the thing. And when I get up to the top buckle, and I'm wearing my shitty ass fucking Sports Authority shoes that I'm awful. I look awful. And you could actually see the nervousness in me by looking at my hands, because I'm fidgeting with the top of the ring post while I'm trying to gather my balance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm fidgeting with it, going like, I don't know about this. Because this was like an awful fucking way down. And when I said
this dwarf's gonna catch me.
This little motherfucker, yeah, Papa Smurf right there. And when I dove off, when I say I wiped him out, I mean it was, dude. I wiped him out. I don't know how long he was unconscious. I'm not sure how long I was unconscious, but that was like a 12 or 14 foot fall, and I'm just jumping back first at the guy, and I expect him to catch me like you're doing a dive, but I'm just launching myself at him, you know. And after he didn't take any offense. Don't get me wrong. Don't think that he thought I was mad. That he was mad because I did it. I just fucking wiped him out. I hit him so hard, and then he throws me into the ring. And he puts me in that fucking gimmick where he stands over your back and he puts his crotch like in your neck and he pulls your legs up.
Right.
Like this stretch gimmick, whatever. And I gave up. After when we got back to the locker room, I ran over to him and I was like, "Dude, Johnny, are you okay?" And he was like, "Yeah." Oh, he's a tough little fucking son of a bitch from South Philly and shit. And he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm fucking fine," but I knew that I wiped him out. I mean, there was just no denying it, and you can clearly see it's on film. It's on the WWE network. If you want to see me diving off the top rope and wiping out a person, it's Johnny Hotbody. And he was totally cool. But Paulie was pissed because he thought that should have been the ending.
Hence the cut. Yeah, all right, that explains it. There you go.
But he never. We weren't smart enough then to know how to call an audible,
right?
Especially in a squash match, because it was supposed to be a squash match. I was supposed to never wipe out Johnny Hotbody. like we were supposed to have like a regular match, and as pathetic as I looked, you can see how irregular the match was going to be. But then I decided I'm just going to fucking throw myself off the top rope like 14 feet on this little short fucker. Captain Lou El fucking Bino over here, and I'm gonna wipe him out. And Paulie just thought that should have been the finish of the match. That's why he edited the match like that. And when I watched it, I was just like, "What happened to the finish?"
Yeah, and like I said, that's why I wanted to ask, because I was thinking in my head, okay, is this a WWE edit? Was this how the show went down originally? Was there, so. You guys were outside the ring for a while before you got back in with him being...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Both of us were outside the ring for a while, and we were nowhere near each other. when I hit him, he went flying. I just pretty much bounced off of him and only landed about 2 feet to the floor. because I bounced off his waist, and you know how big he's not.
What they should have done is not just like cold end of the match, but put like what they should have done, like I said, with Chad wiping out Johnny Hotbody, they should have just did like a little graphic that just said in memory of Johnny Hotbody.
Well,
like,
I think
unfortunately Chad killed Johnny Hotbody in this match. Johnny's no longer with us.
I think there is a form of that match that aired. I don't know what station or whatever, where it does have the finish, because I know I've seen it. And I'm pretty sure that I have it. So I don't know if it was a syndicated version of ECW at the time, because I don't even know what I don't even know the other 4 stations that they were even on. So I couldn't tell you. But yeah, I have seen the finish. I have seen the match, and I saw me look. Like, my leg doesn't go like that. So when I saw him trying to put my leg up to my fucking, like I was going to bite my toenails, and I just realized my hips don't fucking adjust like that. But that's what Paul edited off the main station channel.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? Sports channel.
Sports channel. Well, that is Chad versus Johnny Hotbody.
Poor Hotbody.
In a nutshell. Unfortunately, for all the misfortunes that may have fallen upon Johnny Hotbody that night, we have the misfortune next on this show of watching Matty in the House ordering pizza.
Oh, I thought it was the JT Smith promo.
That is after Matty in the House ordering pizza and annoying Joey Styles and annoying me, and I'm sure annoying Aaron.
Oh yes.
Is that where he ordered the pizza and he's yelling down to Stan the fan?
Yeah.
And he yells, "I got 2
Hey,
pepperonis.
Stan, I got you an extra pepperoni with cheese and all this other shit."
Do you guys know who Stan the fan is?
Hey,
I do not.
He was a local guy who would come to the shows super early, and he would help park cars. Didn't work there, and he would help like stand outside and greet and organize and shit. You know,
Just it was just one of those guys, huh? I mean, there's one everywhere.
yeah, but he was great. Like,
Mhm.
like because you would see him like when the shows were over and you left the next day. If there was a Saturday night show and you left on Sunday and you leave and you get down to the corner of, I don't even know what the main streets are, he'd be standing out there just waving at people. And he's staying fan. So that's why he made quite the impression on Paulie at ECW for doing what he does. So that's why Matty fucking has got to get the fuck out of the house. Ordering them a fucking extra pepperoni from down the street. And when I heard that, I was like, that's so fucking inside, because, you know, there's only people that were like in Murderer's Row down there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sign guy, hat guy, fucking the guy looks like Buck Robley. That's my boy Bob McGee. I've never called him Bob. He's been Buck Robley since the day I've ever met him. But yeah, that's staying the fan. So that was an inside joke.
Matty now what Des Chad was alluding to after this, now we get Matty in the locker room interviewing JT Smith. And JT's like, Terry Funk, I had problems with Terry. I didn't know about Terry Funk. I had some problems with, there's Terry Funk and Terry Funk. Like, I don't know if he was high or what was going on during this deal, but JT is definitely rambling in this promo. This is...
Dude, I feel bad for even saying this. Let me just preface this. It sounded like JT just got back from the dentist. and he got the anesthesia shot.
Yes.
I wrote JT Smith's promo, and I wrote, I'm sorry, but I don't understand a goddamn word he's saying. And that's a shame. Because it sounded like he meant something. But I just said, I don't know what the fuck.
It was just, he was just talking in a circle, like he was just chasing his tail.
Yeah, I don't even want to mean that as a slight on JT, because, you know, I've never had a problem with JT, but I literally had to be honest that I didn't understand a word that he said. Maybe it was the audio how it was mic'd or whatever?
Oh no, it wasn't just you. It was unintelligible, Aaron.
Oh, okay.
And you would have thought that maybe something would have got brought out of it because they had the best stick man in the business ever, Matty in the House, interviewing him. You would have thought he would have been able to get it back on track, but even Matty couldn't do this.
Even
Matty couldn't get it back on track.
Yeah, I mean it's like Mean Gene Okerlund, Bob Caudle, Matty in the House, and Matty couldn't even get it back on track.
Give me a break, Matty. I could just see Gorilla saying that. Give me a break, Matty. Ah!
Will you stop?
Just get out of here.
Now we get Jason's opinion on the triple threat match. And Jason, of course, says the most exciting thing that night will be his suit. But he picks Sabu to win the match. Rockin' Rebel picks Shane Douglas to win the match.
How independent was that promo?
Yes.
that looked like it couldn't have been like. No, honestly, let's be honest. The whole entire production of this show was generic. The cameras they're using were just so. I don't know how many years they were behind in the times, but that promo with the Rebel was just so like camcorder. Mm-hmm. And he's like, "Rockin' Rebel," and he had that Pennsylvania accent. Yeah, that to me that was tremendous.
Sandman picks Terry Funk to win, and then I actually just I guess I don't know, maybe I rambled or trifled off here, but I just have Jason comes in, JT Smith. So I don't know. I guess I don't remember how this actually went down with Jason.
He was taunting Sandman about Sandman having his dog collar match with Rockin' Rebel, and then for some reason JT was just in the bathroom and came out and heard it and got between.
For some reason, JT was in the bathroom.
It was the anesthesia.
He was coming down. He wanted to wash his face.
Yeah,
he was having the hot flashes. He called
either that or JT was in the bathroom going, "Oh, this is the night the line was snorted," and then he heard what was going on.
Jeez, I don't think that was JT, but it was. You said the Sandman was in there.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Then we get a Paulie Dangerously promo, and Maddie's introducing Paulie or interviewing Paulie, and obviously Paulie runs down Maddie for daring to ask him what his opinion would be on this match. And, of course, Maddie is not sorry. Right, Aaron?
Yeah, Paulie calls him a stupid schmuck. So, you stupid schmuck, why would you ask me that?
Well, do you think that's the first time that Paulie called Maddie a stupid schmuck?
I'm pretty sure that's not the first time anybody ever called Maddie a stupid schmuck.
Yeah.
Paulie's probably came home before and been like, "You stupid schmuck, why aren't my dishes washed?"
Right. Where is my car? But if any of us use the word stupid schmuck in their everyday lives, I'm sure that 4 out of the last 6 shows would be said about Maddie.
Yes, absolutely. Up next on the show, Todd Gordon is in his office.
Ruda had nothing on me in '89. Sorry.
Todd Gordon is in his office up next promoting the February 5th show with his map behind him. And there's that. Todd Gordon always talks. I just did it myself. Todd Gordon always talks like he's still going through puberty. That's my observation about Todd Gordon.
He says that ECW isn't about being entertaining; it's about fighting. That's what he says. So he basically just said ECW isn't entertaining. It's like, why would you say that, you moron?
Yeah,
stop letting Maddie write your promos, Todd.
I think the point you're trying to make, Nate, is the fact that he doesn't sound very what's the word, like authoritative.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't. He's like, hey,
because he might screech his voice. Like when's the last time you heard Vince do that? Not sound like I'm the fucking guy in charge.
Hey, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, I mean, Vince always sounds like the guy in charge. And Tommy and Todd has that gimmick where he high pitches. Yeah, wait till Bill Alfonso comes in.
And I mean, I don't know Todd Gordon personally. I've never talked to him like in person, so I don't know if that's just how he talks or what. But I know that I always notice that about his voice when we're watching these shows is that it seems like
I think that's his work talk because I mean I've only had to talk to him when I got paid and or talking about like whatever schedules are or whatever. But yeah, he talks like a regular person. But I think that's like his work voice, like him getting excited.
Yeah, and it don't work. That's for sure. Now we have Jason sitting on his hood of his car, cutting a promo to obscene WWE background music.
Oh, guess what?
Guess what?
I heard this song. I was like, I don't know if this is WWE music or what this is. So I Shazammed it.
I swear to God, you just stole my gimmick because I also Shazammed this song.
Yeah. It's called Do Work by Mike G. And it came out in 2019.
And Sugarcane also. Don't forget Sugarcane. Yes, that's fucking crazy. But anyway, I thought the same thing. I was like, is this just some WWE canned music or is this an actual song?
Oh, it had to have been a song because I started to hear the hook, like the chorus. But at first I didn't hear any like lyrics. So I was like, all right, well, there's a chorus, but there's not. And then when I heard lyrics, I was like, wait a minute. This is a song. I didn't go to the limits that you guys did. But I did think that this must be a song that they had in the can somewhere that they own.
Now I'm just going to start Shazamming all WWE dub-over music just to see.
Then at the end of the day, you're going to be Shazam to yourself.
Shazam's going to be like, we're canceling your subscription.
If you're going to spend any time doing that, then, oh boy. Yeah. We should do these shows earlier in the day then. If you're just going to spend the rest of the day Shazamming songs.
And the only thing I could hear Jason say in this entire thing was about Sal. I heard him bring up Sal. I was like, okay. And I didn't quite make it out.
Sal?
So I'm like, I'm gonna rewind that. I want to hear what he said about Sal. And he said that Sal wants to fight his roughneck Mr. Hughes. And he said, Sal, you're stupid, you're fat, you're ugly, and you have a beard.
So why did Sal get mad? Did he get mad?
What is what?
Why did Sal get mad?
Well, no, I just
was
like,
why? He didn't know. Like he literally just told him every problem that he had.
Yeah, he just described him.
Yeah. I mean, did Sal just stand there and go, and?
And I'm Italian, and I got the helmet.
Yeah, the kids.
And I like the kids.
Yeah, I mean, the guy just came out and just gave him Paul. He gave him everything that Paul saw the first time Paul looked at him. And he wrote down on a piece of paper. This is what this guy looks like. Awful, old, whatever. And he's like, go out there and tell him that he's this. And then just deal with his reaction.
And then everything after, I have no idea what Jason was saying. Like, this Do Work by Mike G was so loud that I couldn't understand anything that Jason was saying. Like Do Work was just playing, and Jason's just sitting on his car speaking, but I don't know what he's saying.
He's just sitting on his car.
Speaking, but I have no idea what Jason said in the rest of this fucking thing.
Same.
Yeah, I that's when Jess came home a little early, and that's when we started putting that girl together because I just threw my hands in the air and I just said, I don't know what the fuck the rest of this guy.
Chad was like, you know what? I'm inspired. I'm inspired to do work.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna
do work.
I'm
gonna do work.
I can do better work than me against Hot Body. How about this? Wait till Public Enemy comes on in a little while, and they show a clip of them beating me up. I mean, how many times I got beat up on that show? Because didn't I get chokeslammed too on the show?
Yep.
Yeah.
No. I think Dwayne Gill does on this show.
Oh, that was Dwayne?
Yeah.
It must have been me fast forwarding because I was like, all right, I've already gotten killed by Hot Body, and then I just saw me getting chokeslammed, and then all of a sudden the Public Enemy's beating me up, and I'm just thinking, I really allowed that? I really can't believe that I allowed them to beat me up. But thankfully, they didn't show a lot of the match, right?
No. This Jason, the thing with the car and the Sandman and Peaches, like, was that supposed to have happened just then, or was that something that happened that we never got to see? I guess because his voice was drowned out by the song, I don't really know what was going on. Yeah. Well, anyway, now we get to Public Enemy cutting promos.
No, I mean,
Go ahead,
I think that thing what you just said was I thought that was probably something they may have had in the can, like an old thing they shot that they were just trying to figure out what they could do with.
So they worked
into
this deal. Yeah, and it makes total sense because none of this made any sense anyway. Because it was like, well, okay, when the hell did this ever happen? This seems like an angle.
Like in my mind, I'm hoping like that Jason was just cutting the most eloquent, greatest promo of his career, and then he's like, "Oh, it's finally going to be on the network," and his entire thing is just drowned out by "Do Work" by Mike G. And he's just at home like, "Motherfucker, that was my dusty ass promo," and they just destroyed it.
He probably burnt bridges back in his doing jobs on WWE Raw programs because he probably bitched about it. So, like whoever works in the library now, somebody gave him orders to like shit on Jason from ECW. He was
make sure
in
1992. Make sure every time he's cutting a promo, the music is as loud as fucking possible over his voice.
Yeah. And fucking put the worst group you can possibly find on it.
Bruce Pritchard's still holding
Dewdrop. What's Dewdrop doing? She's on Raw now. I mean, didn't you say what was her name, Aaron? What was the name of the group? You said it was Dewdrop, wasn't it?
It was
Mike G.
Mike G and Sugarcane.
I thought, where am I coming up with Dewdrop?
No idea.
I mean, I'm not making this up. What is the name of the song? Do something?
It's Do Work.
Oh, that's it. All right, that's Dewdrop. Right,
there you go.
I'm not just throwing that. I'm not just making that up.
Now it clicks. There it is. Well, up next we have Public Enemy cutting promos, as Chad alluded to, intercept with highlights from a match between Public Enemy versus Chad Austin and Keith Shearer. And
that's Kyle. That's Kyle.
Kyle Shearer, sorry.
No, you're twins, buddy.
Because I'm not even sure this was. I'm not even sure that this was the show that Paulie realized that me and Keith wrestled twice. So I think it wasn't until like the next week that when he works twice again that he calls them Keith and Kyle, just so he's going to say that the twins.
Yeah,
because our jobber brigade, they weren't just lined up out front. It was me, Keith, Mikey, Paul, Donnie,
That Dwayne Gill versus 911 is next with the choke slam. But my question that I had, and I mean, it is a question type of question that we ask on this show. Did Dwayne only work one taping for ECW, Chad? Or okay, I wasn't sure.
I thought we talked about it last week. I guess we didn't.
No, I don't think I asked that question or unless I did when we were off the air or something, and I don't remember. But Yeah, I was wondering if we were going to see him anymore, but probably not then if he just worked this one taping.
Well, they got did they work the Harris brothers yet?
No.
That's coming up, right? The Harris brothers are coming in, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that's going to be on the taping. Like,
okay.
Anything that you see Dwayne that Dwayne's on is all one set of tapings. Like, I think it was all one day, and I don't want to take direct credit for getting Dwayne booked. Axel, Ian, everybody. Paul needed talent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, guys, TV, job guy. And you know, everybody knew Dwayne Gill did jobs for the WWE and then, you know, NWA and whatever. And Bob, too.
Right.
They came in after their fucking matches they had. I swear to God, that motherfucker said, all right, I ain't got no time for this. Like, I'm going fucking back to the WWF. At least the Steiner brothers don't fucking kill you.
Not a lot of people say that.
Yeah. You know, at least with Dwayne, I got it. I mean, I got it because Dwayne's not like much of an athlete guy,
mm-hmm.
and you know, and I'm not even sure that he'd be physically willing to be able to put up with that style. Bob was so used to working for WCW, he knew how to do all that fucking goofy bullshit bump stuff, you know. But yeah, mm-hmm. They both said, "Fuck all this." they were like, "We're done."
We have obviously there's the choke slams with Dwayne Gill and not 911 yet, as Aaron alluded to. But Paulie starts working the gimmick here with his phone. Call 911, call 911. So there we go. We plant the seed for the name. Joey runs down the card for November 5th, which we will go over here in just a second. And then we have a Paulie Dangerously promo, which is, I mean, here's your pop culture references for the 1990s. He brings up the Melendez brothers. He brings up John Wayne Bobbitt. He shits on WCW pay-per-views. There you go, Paulie referencing all the pop culture from the mid-90s here. But, of course, it is always fun to hear a Paulie promo in ECW.
He didn't bring up OJ?
I don't think he brought up OJ in this promo.
Who shot JR? Like, he don't think the ECW crowd is that hip. They don't know who fucking shot JR.
So, overall, gentlemen, before we go down the results of the November 5th show, what did we all think of this thing?
I'll give it a D.
It's it.
That's it. like nothing happened. Like nothing happened on this show.
Like I would love you to be like a school teacher that hands somebody a paper that you gave a D, but you actually kind of like them, and you just doing and instead of, you know, when you would normally go like, I'm giving you a D, but I really think you need to apply yourself more. But you just said, I'm just giving you a fucking D.
You got a D. Suck it up.
Yeah, you know, yesterday I really thought a lot about you.
But after this performance,
yeah, today not so much.
Yeah, I'm convinced you're an idiot.
You should be in the Variety Club. I mean,
Jesus, that sounds like one of them Dean Martin videos, the Variety Club. Can you imagine that with Sandman? With a bunch of the special needs kids.
Don Rickles just making fun of all of them.
And the whole entire event was they're all going to try to put the ring together so they could have a match.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo, it's the Variety Club.
Yeah,
well. Don Rickles is just roasting like Sal Malomo and the Sandman and JT and fucking Canadian Wolfman. It would be fantastic.
in the back of the truck.
Chad, did you even grade this thing?
With that?
I said, did you even grade this thing, or?
Oh no! Nah, I thought it was pathetic. I thought that, like, in the last couple of weeks, like previous weeks, I thought we had saw in what I thought was bigger steps,
mm-hmm.
like bigger strides.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
That's you're not wrong, because I literally have.
I'm still laughing. Jesus. No. Yeah. I thought they made bigger steps and bigger strides. With their where they were going.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, does that make any sense?
Oh yeah, because I actually have my I didn't grade the show, but I put down the last 3 weeks were pretty decent. And seeing as this is a go home show to the big show, they gave me such little hype for the big show.
Oh, I love that. Tell me, Nate, how many weeks are we away from that show?
This show aired 4 days before that show.
Oh, so the actual show happened right after this show?
Yeah, 4 days later.
That's aired on the 1st, and so they're having the night.
That's the biggest buildup that we got?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I was like, wow, when I started watching this, I was like, man, I expect some promos from Funk and Douglas and see some shit with, say what you want, but if it's a big angle, see some shit maybe with, hyping the Sheik or Pat Tanaka or what. I got none of that. None of that.
Okay, here's my question now. What the fuck happened that they had to put that Shane Douglas phone call promo in during that segment with Joey Styles to announce that match? Because that's a fucking stupid throwaway segment. Was it already announced that it was going to be Funk and Sabu?
Funk, Sabu, and Douglas, yes.
But all right, but it wasn't announced that it was going to be all three, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it was.
Yeah.
Well, then you just made a fucking fool out of me. I thought that Shane announced it on that phone call.
No, and that
would be a three-way.
And that makes their angle here even goofier because Terry Funk's your champion. You have literally no promo from Terry Funk on this show. Paulie talks about Sabu, yes, but there's no effective promo from Douglas.
No footprints of Sabu except for his name a couple times.
Yeah, not even a video highlight reel or anything. So yeah,
That's there should have been a Shane squash match. He should have beat like Hervé Ernesto or Chad or somebody. Yeah, and then do a Sabu video package because you don't want to put Sabu on TV all the time, or it waters him down. And then, you don't need something to highlight Terry Funk. Everybody knows who the fuck he is, but let him cut a promo or something. They did nothing to put over this night the line was crossed at all in this show.
Yeah, and I don't know what the end result was as far as the draw. How many people it drew. I'm assuming that it had to have been one of their biggest shows because that's one of the shows that everybody talks about.
Yeah.
Everybody was there, I can't believe how many people were at that fucking show that in the building only hold like fucking 1,200 people. But yeah, that's one of them shows, and I'm pretty sure I was there. Yeah, I was there because I had to do the after the show angle at the Ramada, whatever it was, with Ian and the pool part, but with them with the press conference.
All right, gents. So let's check it out. Sunday, February 5th, 1994, ECW Arena. We know the Terry Funk Sabu Shane Douglas match, which obviously they're going to be covering on the TVs that we review here coming up, so we won't elaborate too much on that. But on the card, the Sheik Pat Tanaka versus Tasmaniac and Kevin Sullivan match wound up not being for the ECW tag titles because apparently the titles were held up the night before at a TV taping in a match between Sullivan and Tasmaniac versus the Bruise Brothers. So I'm sure we'll be seeing something about that in the shows. Or this ECW tag title continuing.
You'll probably be seeing something about not Pat Tanaka being brought back.
Right.
That's what that sounds like. It sounds like Paul could have got the Sheik, but he's probably already had problems with Pat, and the problems just got bigger and bigger. And that was the final.
Yeah, because Sheik and Tanaka obviously go over in that match. JT Smith beat Awesome Mike Awesome at this show.
Is that when JT gets folded like an accordion?
Yeah. After the match, Awesome went nuts, powerbombing the referee twice. He was going to then splash him off the top rope, but was stopped when the top rope broke, apparently. But, yes.
I remember all that.
That was when he gets broken in half?
I believe so. I think it's when Awesome does that dive and just fucking folds him like a lawn chair.
Then we have to watch that and review it. because I can tell you, I've never seen a bunch of people staring at a little tiny ass little monitor as big as that looks like my little phone right now, and watching Mike Awesome do that dive over that top rope and hit JT and his back folded over that thing. Everybody jumped up.
I'm sure.
I mean, everyone. And people that weren't even really paying attention because they realized something was going on, they got all jumped up. And it was just like, the referee, Pee Wee asked him, "Are you all right?" "Yeah, I'm all right." and then word got back to us, and we were just going, "How the fuck is this guy all right?"
It was
Sal was like a holy moly.
Yeah, like, how the fuck is this guy all right? And
maybe
when he came back to the locker room, because that was Mike's first night, I'm assuming. That was his first weekend, at least. Whether or not that was his first match or not, I don't know. But that was his first weekend. But yeah, and when he did that, we were like, "This guy's fucking gonna kill people." You can't be doing that shit. And yeah, but JT was fine, and dude, and Mike was an awesome dude. Like, he was so great because he wasn't a wrestler. He didn't know shit about wrestling. Somebody just talked him into fucking how to do this shit, and he thought he could make money doing it, and he didn't know any better.
And then lo and behold, he wound up becoming one of my favorites ever.
Yeah, that's what you got.
Listen to this one.
Awesome.
Jimmy Snuka, managed by, Hunter Q. Robbins. The fuck is this guy still around? Pinned Tommy Dreamer in a one-sided virtual squash. So Tommy Dreamer gets pinned by Jimmy Snuka here with Hunter Q in his corner. Hunter Q apparently still hanging around.
Yeah, but is this when Tommy Dreamer kicks out of the splash for the second time? Or the first time, and then he does it the second
Actually,
time?
four dives off the top rope by Snuka, according to this report.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. Public Enemy defeated the Bruise Brothers.
By DQ? He pinned them.
Let's see what the result says here. A wild brawl all over the arena. Rated a 4-star brawl by several correspondents. Several bled in this match. Yeah, fans, most of which had never seen the Bruise Brothers, immediately took to their reckless, hardcore brawling style. So I'm not sure. It doesn't actually say the actual finish in this report that I'm reading.
So yeah, it probably was what they ended up in the ring. Somebody ended up with a weapon or something and just grabbed a fucking quick one on one of them. And what Ron and I are going to do? We look the same anyway. Is somebody at Chili's later going to say, "Hey, aren't you the guy that got beat tonight?" That's my brother.
Mr. Hughes, managed by Jason, defeated Sal Balomo.
Oh.
This is probably the last time we're going to see our man Sal.
Is it?
I think so.
Oh, no.
I've been wrong before, though. There was a couple weeks ago I said this is the last time we're going to see our man Sal. So we'll see how that goes.
I bet it was like when Brock beat Taker. Everybody in the building was just quiet.
Dude, we got to have a Sal Balomo tribute show where at least the last time that he's actually on, that we think that he's really on, you play some funeral music.
It's for the kids.
It is definitely for the kids.
Tommy Dreamer or Tommy Cairo, and the Sandman beat Pitbull and Rockin' Rebel when Cairo pinned Pitbull. And in the opener of this show, Chad Austin lost to Paulie Dangerously's bodyguard.
9-1-1?
That's what it says. Do you remember this?
No, but I'm sure it was. I don't think that I had been given the opportunity yet to have verbiage on the microphone. To speak freely.
Right.
We'll see coming up. So I think maybe this was just like a match.
Right.
Like I was in the ring and he comes out and it's just me all just freaking out, about 911. Because nothing strikes out at me because I always thought that I always thought we were doing an angle again because as many times he was choke slamming me, I just thought that there was a
seems like this. Yeah, it seems like this might lead somewhere.
Yeah, like there was a reason why he's doing it. He just keeps coming out and killing me. So, but no, it didn't. And I don't know. I'd like to know. I'd like to have as much footage of that as I could, because I took so many choke slams on the independent shows that you didn't even see, like the ECW shows before fan cams even started.
Well, that is our show for this week, everybody. We'll probably, I know for sure we'll be digging into this event as time goes on, because ECW loves to show us lots of recaps, lots of footage. We'll dig into the night the line was crossed more as we go on. But I want to thank Chad and Aaron for once again being here with me this week on Reliving the Extreme. Anything you guys want to say before we sign off this week?
Aaron?
Just thanks for listening. I appreciate it. And don't forget to check out our Facebook page and give any kind of feedback, negative or positive, that you guys feel about the show. And that's that.
Aaron loves negative feedback.
I love negative feedback. I love negative feedback.
Chad, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I just like to say, I don't know who we're talking to, and if you haven't listened and you haven't already subscribed and you haven't already liked the podcast and got on the group page, or even subscribe to the WrestleNet group page.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what anybody's waiting for. So who are we speaking to that hasn't already known this? Do it.
Yes, exactly. If not, you're a putz. What are you waiting for?
Yeah, you stupid schmucks. You bunch of Matties.
What? Yeah, what are you, Matty in the House?
Yeah, well, you want to be a Matty in the House?
Duke karaoke. Yeah, that was a fucking great show, dude.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us. And as Chad alluded to, check out WrestleNet Radio. It's 24/7, 365. You hear episodes of this show, the We Can't Wrestle podcast, the Asylum Wrestling podcast, Archie Mitchell with his If You Smell What the Arch is Cooking. We have the 25 years ago wrestling show on there, and so much more. Check it out. WrestleNet Radio available in the Google Play Store. And we will see you next week on Reliving the Extreme. Thank you for joining us, and have a great week, everybody. Reliving the Extreme is a production of Maxing Out Media, all rights reserved.